All right, and we're live. Welcome to Foreign Domestic. We are on location. So we'll get to that here in a second in proper fashion. I'm going to hand it over to Alan, if you would, sir.
All right. I'm glad to have made it. See if I can actually have all the ducks in a row here. Yeah, we are actually live, and yes, it is early, guys. That is the circumstances as it stands. Currently, the participations list is giving me a blue healer 260. Curious yellow Cuda, good to see you out there. Haven't seen you in a little while. Tardot 357, TC's corner, Walter Miner out there, Chris 338 posting in. We Keith Gregory jumping in out there. That's absolutely awesome. Glad to have everybody already showing up. I don't actually have my ducks in a row because I just showed back up from the range. So you'll have to excuse me. And while you do that, if you wouldn't mind, I'll get my other ducks in a row here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. With that done, yeah, my happy case just came back from the range shooting my reloads. That's something that we can go into a little bit later. Glad to see everybody popping in. Scott F has jumped in. Gunpowder Beauty out in the side chat. The one, the only Midnight Range TM out there. Jesse B outdoors. Josh Ben Ware is out there. Mountaineer Marksman out there. Starting to see the side chat fill up pretty well.
Awesome. As you guys can see, I don't have my usual flags behind me. There's a good reason for that. We're on location this time. I am in PA with a very special guest. I'm my host, S Winger 70.
Hey all, it's good to be here. Get to see my boy Alan, my buddy Scotty over there, Phil. That looks like, is that an Eagles hat? He's wearing an Eagles hat. That's like, he must be a Philly boy. No, that's a Jersey boy, right?
It's a Jersey boy. Okay. Yeah, he's Jersey, yeah.
Okay.
Nah. I am not a Jersey boy. I just happen to be here. I am a Pennsylvania boy. So let's get that straight.
Well, get over the bridge and welcome. Can't wait to have you. It's great to be here. I love having Jason is a great house guest. He's already cost me, I don't know, 50 bones for some sustenance.
He outdid himself. I'm not gonna lie, he did. Cheers.
Cheers to all.
Well, the Scotsman is very good at spending other people's money. There's no doubt about that.
I am talented at that, especially when it comes to guns. But we have some other guests with us. We have the Tactical Swede.
Sorry, gotta get off mute here. Sorry, I'm over here signing documents for hopefully my new house. Yeah, we talked about last week that I had put an offer in on a house, and that didn't go so well. We were looking again this weekend, found something we liked, and put an offer in. So again, fingers crossed for us. Hopefully we get that, and I can proceed to getting across that river back into PA and leaving the communist state of New Jersey behind me. Other than that, not a whole lot going on with me.
Always good to have you, brother. Good to see you. You got Phil. What's going on, Phil?
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks for having me. Been busy with putting some content out. Been busy with life. So other than that, same old, guys.
Awesome, good deal. And someone that's been missing for a while, my brother, Scott, what's going on?
What's up? I'm alive. I'm here. I'm still working on some of those 30, 40, 50-second videos so I can drop them regularly on YouTube. Keep from occupying all of your time. I've missed hanging out with this crew here and with all of the people in the side chat. I'm having technical difficulties I still can't hear too, so I may drop out and come back in and see if that solves it here in a minute. But Winger, you're a good host for the host.
I love having him. I wish he could have been here sooner. We could have gotten here a little sooner. We could have gone out for a rainy day ranch day, or range day actually. But better late than never.
Yeah, it is. It's been raining all the time since I hit PA, across the border. Nothing but rain the entire way here.
And I'm also currently in the process of making my man's dinner as well. So I may be jumping in and out to go and check on, give it a little dinner update.
Did that?
You know,
Does that entail
dinner is
calling the
phone
closest pizza joint?
and just call and have it delivered.
He's actually still cooking pork, which is actually pretty awesome. So
Yeah, I spent all day doing that for my mom. As I'll
What did I
be
tell you when you first got here? What else? What am I making? I'm making pork.
yeah,
He said, "Oh, that sounds good. What else does a good Jewish boy from Philadelphia make?"
exactly. Okay,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a good day. We got the 2A rally in Harrisburg, so that should be pretty good. There's a lot of guys out there, Midnight Rangers out there, and a few other guys there that are going to be at the rally. So hopefully I'll get to hook up with them, see those guys. But yeah, so with that being said, I kind of wanted to talk about 2A rallies and what you guys thought about how important they are and what they do for us.
Well, that's one thing that we don't ever really have that much of here in Iowa. Very, very few and far between do we have them here in Iowa. When we do, I have been able to attend. Over the past couple of years, I've been able to attend 4 altogether. I see a major importance in it. Even in one of the most free firearm states in our nation here, I find it still extremely valuable to be getting out there and be seen as a 2A supporter. Not out there looking like a damn lunatic. I'm not running around with a Mosin on my back or something stupid. But getting out there, being seen so that people know that there is major 2A support in your state.
Yeah, and like I said in the video I made earlier, I drove 6 hours to get here, a little over 6 hours, because, when it comes to our rights and what we have, we got to fight for it. So, like I said earlier, if you can drive it, fly, whatever you got to do to get there and help out and support, it all makes a big difference.
Yeah, there's we have the opportunity of being able to spread information for these kinds of events through our communities. If it's not here, if it's gun channels, if it's on YouTube, if it's on ErgTube or whatever, any avenue that us creators can use to get that word out and get people to these kind of events is going to be nothing but beneficial. The larger it is, the more positive that it is. The possibility of getting any kind of national coverage is slim to none anyway. But if we do, we want to see the positive people out there that are just saying, hey, look, these are our rights and we want to keep them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Sweet. I know you can't make it. You got a lot going on, but
Yeah,
what are your thoughts
it's
on it?
one of those things that I would love to be able to get to, but you know, work and everything else that's going on, it's a bit of a drive for me, which wouldn't be a big deal, but you know, getting the time off right now is the tough thing. I'm still within like 6 months of starting my job, so I'm like in that probationary period where I don't, you know, get paid time off yet. But definitely an important thing. I think the more people that hear our voice, the better. You know, a lot of times we talk amongst ourselves, and you know, it's kind of that preaching to the choir thing. So you know, getting out there and you know, putting our point of view out to, you know, people that may not hear it all the time, and like actually having rational discussions about things. I think that is the big thing, because a lot of times it just gets into the, you know, the fighting, and you know, start, you know, calling everybody names, you know, libtard, this, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think just, you know, presenting a professional argument, you know, like getting your points across in, you know, in a normal point of view, you know, from a normal person. The more we can do that, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest thing. We got to be positive in what we do and how we say it. You know, it's all good making fun here and there and libtards and snowflakes and all that, but
And
we got to keep it positive at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's all good when we're talking amongst ourselves and everything. But like, I think when we get out there and we're trying to, you know, I hate to use the word educate, but a lot of times that's what it is. You're trying to educate people on the way things really are. You know, you gotta come at it from, you know, a point of view of like, you know, talking about it like a normal person, not attacking someone else's point of view.
That's an extremely valid point. You know, a lot of people that don't own firearms, don't know anything at all about firearms. The things that they learn about firearms are from the media. It's only from the national media that they learn these kind of things. And so that's the information that they're given. They're developing their opinions based strictly on those opinions, and they don't know anything different. They don't understand that they're being duped by the national media and being fed an agenda for the most part. So getting out and having those sensible conversations with people that think that, oh, well, you're a gun owner, you must want to just go around and kill people. That's like the general consensus. Oh, why do you have a gun? Because you want to kill people? No, I have a gun.
An AR-15 makes a hole this big.
Yeah, and a 45 ACP will knock somebody back 6 feet. You know, it's
the pistol equivalent of a cannon.
Yeah.
So
Midnight Range makes a good point. Know the state you're going to if you're going to carry, especially if you go on something like a rally or that. Make sure you know what's going on. He says they're under a state of emergency right now, so it's a whole different ball game. I didn't bring anything with me anyway, just to be on the safe side, but generally I'm usually always carrying, but I didn't bring anything with me for this trip. I figure Scott over here has got plenty if I need something. So
if this year's and I don't mean to barge in, but if this year's rally is anything like last year's, if you're carrying, and there's plenty of people that were, but if you're carrying, which you're certainly allowed to do, they actually filter you to another section of the rotunda, and then they check it. They check it, and I think they have you unload it. They may even, I think one guy I saw a zip tie, so I think they zip tie you like when you go to a gun show. So when I got there, I just thought it was going to be easier just to leave everything in the car. I didn't have to worry about anything. You know, I was parked right across the street from the rotunda where the rally was being held, so all was good. So just to avoid standing in different lines, waiting to get into the rotunda. I just thought it was easier just to leave everything in the car, which is what I did. That's it. Your dinner is almost ready, sir.
You gotta love this guy.
I wanted to ask if that's an annual event, because I thought there was one last year.
Yeah, there was. There was. We had Kingpin join us. What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. Thanks for having me. Sorry I'm late.
All good. We were late too. So
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on what you guys were talking about, when it goes to the conversations. And, we're not them, so we shouldn't talk like them. Antifa comes out in the street and drops every curse word out there and makes up a few right in people's faces and acts a fool in public. And we don't do that. We pride ourselves on not being them. So if you're trying to have a conversation and get your point across and have something positive come out of it, calling somebody a bunch of names and screaming in their face and, getting physical with them, that's not what we do. That's not how people on the right side of things get their points across. So it was really cool that you guys were talking about that.
awesome, man. Yeah, good to have you. And excellent point. That's what we're trying to say. We gotta do things the right way. Every now and then, like Sweet said, if we're together just in our little group, we can say the funny things that we say and talk about snowflakes and all that good stuff. But when we're out in public, we gotta be on board and on top of things and taking care of it properly.
Yeah, because there's already so much,
We just have to be
anti-gun
responsible
sentiment.
all the time. Because being smart, with our biggest responsibility that we have, is always the smart move. And they'll make up things that we don't do safely or smartly, and they'll highlight the ones that use it wrong and try to lump us into a basket with them. But we just have to be smart about it all the time. We have to be prepared, educated, and just smart about how we execute everything.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I did a video on this a ways back, and I got a lot of backlash on it. But like I've always been against the guys that will like strap an AR-15 to their back and then walk around with a camera, like waiting to get they're just baiting somebody to confront them so they can like school the other person on it. And like, I just think that paints us in a bad light. That yes, you are exercising your rights, absolutely, but when you go out there looking to get into a confrontation with somebody over it, I think that's when you're pushing it too far, and you're just adding fuel to the fire that people already think that we're just a bunch of gun nuts. Doing stuff like that doesn't really help us, I don't think.
See, that's where I think that we can strap facts and reason and logic and statistics to our back and go out and look for that confrontation. But like you were saying before, it's got to be a positive, level-headed confrontation, or better yet, conversation.
Yeah, that's it. Having that conversation and not making it an argument. So you were there last time. You want to tell us about kind of what happened last time and how it was?
So last year I brought Logan with me, and she's going to go to school this year. She said it was a little boring, Dad, because it's a lot of talking. So there's whatever Congress people are available will show up and come down to the rotunda. They had speakers. I didn't look at the itinerary, so I don't know what speakers are going to be there. Last year there was a I don't remember his name, but he looks exactly like John from the NRA. He has a show. He looks exactly like John. So he was there talking last year, and it's really a bunch of people talking, and then you have some of your lawmakers that'll pop in and tell you that we're here to show you that we're right with you, trying to maintain and protect your Second Amendment rights. and they'll give you some insight as to what types of things that are coming up on the floor, what types of things they're looking to put in motion, and things like that. It's a very patriotic. I think it was all told maybe about 45 minutes to an hour of different speakers just talking about. There was somebody there who actually talked about how they defended themselves against an attack, and that was cool. There was like a elementary school or high school band there that was playing the national anthem. So it was really a nice thing. The outside, when we were waiting in line to go in, I was actually expecting more. There was that mothers organization there that were just there with a sign, sitting at a table. They weren't overt. They weren't. There was no arguments. There was no confrontations of any kind. But I wouldn't expect there to be at that particular thing where, you have a whole bunch of people that are potentially carrying a firearm. I don't think I would want to be on the other side of it. So I don't expect it to be that way this time either. I expect it to be much the same, and it's kind of like a pep rally is what it is. If you can imagine a pep rally in high school, bunch of lawmakers telling you how they promise that they're there for us, and what their hopes are, what they're working on, and things of that nature. And it's a beautiful building too, inside and out. It's pretty amazing structure itself.
Should be good. I'm looking forward to it. We had Tim join us. Tim, what's going on, brother?
Hi, guys. I just wanted to jump in. I'm mowing the grass right now, so I ain't going to be here long. I just wanted to say 2A strong. You guys have hit a lot of good points. To make our points seem valid, we don't need like the other guys that are pointing fingers at us. And, we need to show people we're not nasty people. We are good, honest American people. And, this is our right. It's not something that is given to us. It's ours to begin with.
Couldn't say it better myself, brother. That's exactly it. Exactly it. So other than mowing the grass, what else you got going on?
That's about it. Wondering if this loan's going to go through on this house or not.
Oh,
Feel-
right. You're
feel
having
you on that.
the same battle as Swede.
That's pretty sweet. Swede's got a garage door in his room. I like that.
Yeah. Got the studio in the garage.
It's a tactical door.
Yeah. Hopefully, when we get a new house, I won't have to be in the garage anymore. Hopefully, I have my own space.
There you go.
Notice how he had to look over his shoulder to see if the wife was paying attention to that or not. She's needing a sewing room / sitting room.
She's actually standing right there.
It's actually just a door that's wide enough to get your 50 BMG out. So
She's actually standing right.
So at this particular rally, have you ever run into protesters that are fighting the mass crowd?
I think I can speak for last year's when I say there was no mass crowd. It was a very modest group. The weather was nice, so I mean it wouldn't have been. It was an indoor thing. Everybody kind of pushed into the rotunda. It wasn't people standing on steps at a dais giving any kind of speeches or anything like that. Everything was done indoors, and everybody that showed up was able to fit into the rotunda. So it wasn't a mass crowd. And as far as anti-gunners and protesters, the only thing that Logan and myself witnessed, and I think John was there with us last year as well. The only thing we witnessed, and we were all quite surprised, was that it was just that table that mom organization had set up, and they were very unassuming. They weren't out there spewing anything. They were just sitting there. They had pamphlets and documents and what have you on their table. If you were interested in walking up, nobody was really interested in walking up. There was no conversation with them. They were just sitting there and quietly making their presence known. There was nothing obnoxious and out of hand, at least not at this rally. It wasn't like a big march up to the main epicenter, so to speak. It was very organized filing into the rotunda. And like I said earlier, if you were carrying, they had asked you to move around to the other side of the rotunda for people that were carrying weapons on their person. And I guess that was just to make sure that they, as best they could, just to have an idea of where the firearms were, because it is a rotunda, just a circle. And that's really it. It was in that respect very uneventful.
Hey guys, I'm going to get off here and finish the lawn. You have a good talk and stay
All right,
strong.
thanks for jumping in.
Bye guys.
So, Scotsman, the bearded CB out there throwing a link for 2K giveaway. Would you know anything at all about that?
I do not. I just saw that.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was going to throw that link out there too.
I was on the road, so I haven't seen a whole lot today, other than rain.
Yeah, he threw it out the last couple minutes here.
There was a lot of rain.
Absolutely beautiful day for me out here in Iowa. 75 degrees and sunny. I do not mean to sound like a weather forecaster, but I kind of do. Went and took the two oldest out with me. We did a whole bunch of shooting. I did shoot my reloads. Initially went to go run them through the LC9S Pro, and the LC9 was not liking them at all. Not at all. It seemed like I was getting light primer strike, and so it kind of was making me think, well, maybe somehow I set my primers too far down. I don't know how I could do that, but maybe I did. So I switched over to the SIG P320 and the 320 ATEM. The 320 ATEM really well. So at this point, I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to end up retiring the LC9S Pro before doing a little bit more maintenance on it. If it needs a new firing pin spring or a new recoil spring or something, it might need a little something, because the 320 ate those things like it was going out of style, but the LC9S did not like them at all.
Did you plunk test them first?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And no Milsurp mic. No Milsurp mic.
Yeah. I
did, but
primers.
I don't know. I think I might be dealing with, I've put a really kind of immense amount of rounds through that LC9S Pro. Even after I did the spring upgrades afterwards, I've had an absolutely sick amount of rounds through that particular weapon. So I don't know if it's just that, but the reloads itself seem to function just fine in another weapon.
Picky too, so it's just ammo picky. So it could be that too. But what primers were you using?
The CCIs. The CCI primers, yeah, but you could see after I'd eject the round, you could see it was just a little tiny light primer strike on the back of it. It wasn't hitting them very well at all.
Yeah, a couple of the guys out there think the firing pin might be worn down. So
And that's
you put so many rounds through it.
That's a grand possibility. With as many rounds as I've put through that weapon, it wouldn't amaze me.
Yeah, Pop says try some Federal.
Are primers made out of all the same material, regardless of what company you get them from, or do they make them out of different materials?
Generally, it's the same material, but some are softer than others. They each have their own kind of process, and some are softer than others. CCI generally tends to be a harder primer for the most part. I've never had an issue with CCI. I always use CCI. Never been a fan of the Winchester primers or anything like that. I've seen so many failures over the years. But that's just me. So, but again, some people have good luck with CCI. Some people don't because they do tend to be a harder primer.
I'll tell you what. Is anybody else talking?
No.
I'm picking up. Here, I'm picking up you. I'm picking up Alan. I'm picking up the Swede some, but I'm missing so much of this conversation, and I've checked in and out like 3 times, and I pick up somebody new and lose somebody. I'm gonna check out and get in the side chat because I think I'll be more effective communicating that way. But again, thanks. And I hate to check out. I may try to check back in just as a banana eater checks in to take my spot. So let me just check out now, and I'll get over in the side chat so I can keep up with this better. And I hate to check out. Thanks. Try to check back in just as a banana eater checks in to take my spot. So let me just check out now.
Oh, and GG has Silverback has the chat up apparently still. So take the chat down, or pause it, or mute it, or something.
I thought I had it muted. I'm sorry.
All good. How's it going, brother?
It's going pretty good, pretty good. Just a rainy day. Sorry, I'm a little late. I had to do runs at a store. So, how y'all doing?
Not too shabby. On location with an excellent host. He's taking care of me, so we're all good.
Yeah, I don't know how you got Bill Goldberg's address. More or less got him to let you into his home, feed you beer, and feed you food. But kudos to you, brother.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
A Scotsman always does it right.
He said he was going to go on a beer run. He came back and outdid himself. I'll tell you that. Majorly outdid himself.
Yeah, all in all, though, it was a good day for me at the range. Did create more brass to be able to be rewashed, deprimed, and reloaded. So it was a good day. It was a good day. Got the Gray Ghost out, stretched its legs a little bit, put it through its paces. So I've got a number of weapons in my future that will need cleaned and detailed and re-oiled up. It's always good to get out to the range, especially on such a nice day that I've had here in Iowa, at least.
At least you had some nice weather. All we got's rain and thunderstorms. So I got to fix up my reloading press a little bit, working on the powder dispenser. So I think I got that all dialed in now finally.
Yeah. I dug your setup. Seeing the pictures of your setup, I like the way you're getting that all dialed in there. That bench is pretty nice for, and how you got it set up is pretty clean, man. I'm digging it.
Yeah, try to keep as organized as possible. It just makes things a little easier. But yeah, not bad for a $49 Walmart piece, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So Phil, you say you're turning some videos here very shortly. You've been out at the range at all, or
Well,
I haven't been able to catch up myself.
Oh yeah, they're out there already. I did a live stream Friday night, and then I think it was, I don't remember now. My days are all screwed up anymore. But I know I did a couple videos. I got the gun I won at the gun bash last weekend. I took that out, and I didn't get any footage of the shooting. I only shot 2 dozen rounds through it. But I hope to get out to the range maybe next weekend if it's not soggy, as soggy it is this weekend, and get out to the range and get some video of shooting it. But yeah, I got that, and I finally put up the video from Patriot in the Dark sticker that I got. I had the video shot. I just never edited it and put it up. And I was like, holy crap, it's been like 2 weeks. So I finally did that. So yeah, it's been crazy with trying to get the reloading going, trying to keep life going, and with summer coming, cutting damn grass. And now that it's raining every night, the grass is growing and you can't get out there to cut it.
Facts.
Well, what you do is you get yourself a big giant spray bottle. You put some Epsom salt, some Dawn dish soap, and vinegar in that. Shake it up really well and spray your grass with it. It won't grow at all. That way you don't have to mow it.
Yeah, that doesn't that turn it into a mud pit?
Well, I mean, only if it rains a lot. I mean, other than that, you won't have to worry about cutting your grass. And when it does dry out, it makes it easier to pick up your brass.
Probably makes it a whole lot harder to clean it, though.
The Insight does have a good fact, though. Goats, they cut your grass rain or shine. So, Kingpin, what have you been up to as of this week?
Just had to work a lot this week, so pretty much that's what my entire week was consistent of, is just working. And then this weekend I've been getting ready for going up to the rally on Monday.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's pretty important, I think, to have those things happening. I'm slightly disappointed that it doesn't happen more in my state, just because I don't have the time or the energy to be able to set something like that up or even get that ball rolling. If I did, yeah, I would be all over that. I would be more power to the people and get that going, but it just doesn't happen anywhere near me. Me being in the middle of Iowa, I can certainly go out to places every now and then, But it's pretty difficult for me to travel with my work as it is as well.
Somebody had mentioned it in the chat earlier about, people on the side of things, whether it be, abortion, gun rights, free speech, whatever. They all got jobs, and lives and families and stuff. So they have to schedule stuff like that where people who are more inclined to take away stuff and ban stuff generally can just get up whenever they want and go down and start protesting.
Well, that and they're usually ones that want the free stuff.
I don't necessarily mind free stuff. I just don't want to become a Josh Benoit. I mean, no, I just don't want to be considered one of those people. I don't mind free stuff. If somebody's going to send me something for free that I could use, why not? Why not? But for the most part, it's the people that are fighting against all these things have all the time in the world because they don't have jobs. They, if they have families, their families are the ones that have jobs that are taking care of them, while they're sitting in their mom's basement eating Cheetos. So it's kind of difficult to and Mountaineer Marksman says they get paid to protest, and there is a lot of that happening nowadays as well. People are taking jobs where they get bussed around the country to protest this or protest that, and it's an actual occupation now.
Well, the difference between the character and the people shines through again when you're talking about free stuff. Because the kind of free stuff that you were describing is something that someone willingly gives you because they wanted to. And most of the free stuff they want requires to be taken from someone else.
Right, usually through tax money from somebody that has a job. They're taking our tax money and giving it away to somebody else. So I don't support that at all.
Apparently, the protest jobs are all listed on Craigslist.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to try to get somebody that's actually pro 2A into one of those organizations that are going around and trying to protest pro 2A events and so forth. I'd like to see how they operate, because it's just absolutely absurd to me that you have to pay somebody to protest. People need to be able to stand up for their own rights, protest what they want to protest. We have the right in this country to do that. Not just get paid to protest. That's absolutely absurd.
Well, I think the whole getting paid to protest is just, helping create the boundless amount of sheep out there to follow exactly what their agenda is anyway, because they figure if they can get a few suckers and pay them a couple bucks to get out there and go, yeah, that they'll get a whole crowd of people behind them. And, it's a pretty effective strategy. It's seems like it's been working, not to mention the whole dumbing down of the today's generation and erasing history out of schools and stuff like that. I mean, they're not teaching half the things they should be teaching, like the things I was taught back when I was in school about our government and our country and the actual history of our country. So, these kids today, they're so willing and easy to jump on the bandwagon because they just don't know. They only read what they see on social media and from these groups that are creating this false sense of hope for people that just isn't true, So, and people nowadays just tend to think more with emotions than actual logic. So it's easy to get them on the bandwagon.
Well, it's going to be rather enticing for somebody getting straight out of high school to go, what? The government's going to pay for my college? Oh yeah, absolutely. Why shouldn't the government pay for my why not? I'll play the devil's advocate. Why not? Why wouldn't I want somebody else to pay for my college instead of taking a bunch of college loans myself, getting out of college, hoping that I am able to get a job that's going to be able to put enough bread in my stomach to survive, but also be able to pay off the immense amounts of loans at the ridiculous interest rates that they are. Why wouldn't I want the government to do it? I'll play the devil's advocate.
I think a big part of the problem too is the idea that you have to go to college. Like you graduate from high school, you go to college. Like that mentality is what's gotten a lot of these people into debt and can't get a job because they don't know what they want to do. They go to college because that's what you're supposed to do, and they get some bullshit degree that means nothing in the real world, and then they complain that they can't get a job with that bullshit degree. And then, I deserve to get my, student loans, paid back because I made a poor life decision. And that's kind of what we've fallen into. It's like, don't just go to college because that's what you're supposed to do. Like if you have a career path that leads you to college, fine. But, go into college and getting a liberal arts degree or like fine arts or, something that means nothing in the real world isn't going to help you at all. Yeah, you're going to end up being in debt and not being able to get a job.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
That is extremely true. I don't see I see people all the time. Well, I'm a college graduate. Yeah, with what? Oh, I got a degree in music. Okay, and you're applying for what? A convenience store job? Like that your degree in music is going to benefit you in any way, shape, or in any way at this manufacturing facility or this other company that designs window shades? No, you have a music degree. Where is that going to get you?
Probably McDonald's.
Or the Philadelphia Pops Orchestra.
Keith Greger says, join the military, get the GI Bill to pay for your college.
Or, get the GI Bill to pay for your wife's college, and then you can, sit on your ass and do nothing like I plan to.
Or you can get the GI Bill to pay for your wife's college so that your wife can complete her nursing degree only to get out of the military and have your wife leave you.
That would suck.
That's why I have so much room for Jason to be here tonight with me.
It almost sounded like you were talking about me there until you got to the whole flea thingy part.
He predicted your future.
Hopefully that's not your future.
Yeah. We'll everything up to that point is good.
We're hoping you get a house here pretty soon.
It would be nice.
Get you out of that commie state.
Yeah.
Josh Benware states, I make more than 90% of the people I know with a college degree, and I have a freaking 8th grade level education. And Josh, you know what? That is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think that anybody actually believes you have an 8th grade level education, but if it's true, it's absolutely phenomenal. And it is. There is a quite a number of employers out there that all they want is the paper documentation, because then they know they can mold you into the employee that they want you to be.
Well, that's it. Like one thing, and I tell people all the time, whenever you're applying for a job, don't look at what the qualifications are, because a lot of times it's going to be something that is way out there. 99% of the people ain't going to have that qualification anyway, but it's all about how you sell yourself when you get to that interview. Get in the door, get that interview, and sell yourself.
Yeah, look at the job description, and then sell yourself to that description. Like, I've done this and I can do this, and the qualifications, they're always going to ask for the moon, but as long as you can sell yourself that you can do what the job, is described as, that's the key.
Yeah, you got to build yourself as the rocket, so that way you can get to that moon.
Yeah.
That's a lot of problems today with the youth today. They don't know how to sell themselves. They just want everything for free or, handed to them in a platter.
Well, that's because they've never been taught to really apply themselves as far as that goes, because everybody gets the trophy and they get the little pat on the butt and say, hey, you did a great job.
Yeah. Participation awards.
Yep. Yeah, I've been pushing my oldest to go to a trade school, man. Learn a skill, forget, because he doesn't like school. So like, I just don't see him wanting to go to college. So like to me, like, yeah, go to a trade school, learn a skill, learn how to weld, learn to be a mechanic, learn how to build something, because honestly, there's not enough of that. It's in demand, and you're probably going to make more money doing that than you would if you went and got some bullshit degree.
It's true. They're in high demand right now. Manufacturing jobs, welding jobs, all of that is in high demand.
Yep.
Yeah, I can tell you that firsthand. I work in the auto body industry, and there are not really any young kids or anything getting into it. So, a lot of shops are struggling to find good employees or new employees because of the fact that nobody wants to learn a skill anymore because it's too physically demanding.
A lot of the trades can't be replaced by automation or robotics either. If you're going to build a robot to frame up a house, yeah, that's fine. How you're going to have to build a bunch of different sized robots because, a closet's a lot smaller than the outside of the house is.
Yeah, and if you got all these giant robots around building the house, what room do you have for the other houses that are around it while they're building the house? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous to even.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, a lot of people don't take pride in their work anymore. There's some people I work with that, yeah, it's not the greatest job in the world. It has its really shitty moments sometimes, but still take pride in what you do. And these guys just don't care. It's, like I've said before in the past, even if you work at McDonald's, which I would never do, but even if you do, take pride in working there because you work there. It's your job. Take pride in it. It might be a shitty job, but you got to do what you got to do until you can get to the next job. It's all about the attitude.
I think it's about the era too. And look what Pops wrote right here. You see what Pops wrote?
Yep.
So Pops just said he built a house. It took him a year to do it, and he did it, his first house. He did it, and he was 20 years old. I've got a 22, a 19, and a 17-year-old. Two of them are in college. One's getting ready to graduate high school. And they don't know how to put the gas in their car because there's always somebody there to do it for them. The era is so different now. These kids don't know what hard work is. These kids know what spending, working enough hours that particular week so that they can put gas in their car because mom and dad's not doing it for them and buy tickets to that rap concert. That's what their priorities are. But their cars break down and mom and dad's not fixing it. So when they can't go out there and get a loan because the job they have is McDonald's flipping burgers, and these are college educated kids. The priorities are different with the era that we live in.
Yeah, do not probably not 6 months ago. I was coming into work, and there was this kid on the side of the road with a flat tire. He was probably 19, 20 years old, and this dude legitimately did not know how to change a tire. I'm like, dude, how do you get this to this point in your life and not know how to change a tire? Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I try to, teach my kids how to do that. Like not just teach them how to drive, but teach them how to change a tire, how to change the oil. Same thing with guns. Don't just teach them how to shoot, but teach them how to take the guns apart, how to clean them, how to maintain them. Like, that's the stuff that I think is getting lost a lot nowadays is the how-to part of things.
Here's a question for everybody, and I wasn't expecting to get involved too much. I just wanted to watch, but I do have a question. So I was talking to Jason a little bit about it when he first got here. I don't know how many of you watch any of these YouTube channels that they have somebody going out and doing interviews, InfoWars and stuff like that, and they go and they ask questions to these college kids on the college campuses. Now, you have Democrats right now that are pushing to have the voting age lowered to 16 years old. And you go and watch these YouTube videos and you see these college kids, sophomores, juniors, seniors, whatever the case may be, getting ready to graduate from their university, whichever it is, and they can't tell you the answer to what is the president's State of the Union address. What is that? That was one video I watched. None of these kids, college educated kids, could do that. And they want 16-year-olds to be given the right to vote. Now, these college campuses, for example, are all liberal nowadays. Okay. They're liberally taught. They think of anything capitalistic and Republican centered is criminal, and something that needs to go. They have no idea about the simplest questions that these InfoWars people, whoever they may be, are out there asking them. And these people already can vote. It goes back to having pride in yourself, not drinking of the juice, so to speak, and finding these kids in these colleges that have learned how to think outside the box, listen to a little bit here, listen to a little bit there, and formulate their own opinions. I'm not seeing that, and that's what concerns me. I'm not scared. I'm concerned. These kids are voters, and they are already voters, and they're going by what they see on the news. Trump is a bastard, and the Republican Party are nothing but criminals and crooks, and they see their heroes are on the other side of the aisle. Those types of things scare me. These kids are not formulating opinions of their own, so it doesn't shock me that they can't go out there and build their own house like Pops did, or go out there and utilize the education they received and the degree they earned to go and get a job fitting for that particular degree that they've earned. None of that surprises me. It's a very, very different world, and I'm just one generation away from these kids. So it's very different. Wasn't the world I was brought up in.
No, definitely not at all. That goes back again to, like I was saying, they're just not taught to apply themselves, but they're flooded every day with these things they see on social media, and like you said, in the media as well, where it's just completely they're forming their opinion for these kids. These kids are not taught nowadays how to think for themselves and question authority. And until they start doing that, then we're just going to have a bunch of mindless drones walking around with their hands stuck out saying, hey, give it to me, you owe me, give it to me. Because they're never going to try for themselves and do for themselves, because that's just not what they're taught. And that goes right along with the Democrats' agenda. They want these kids young to be able to vote at the age of 16, so that way they'll vote Democrat, because they know that they've been so flooded with all this stuff they see in the media and on social media that they will vote Democrat just because they're taught to hate anything other than the Democrats.
Well, they've also been taught how special and how unique and how wonderful each and every one of them are. And then why would they not believe the politics and the stories and the stats that those people that tell me how wonderful I am say? You know, my college professor told me I was great and wonderful and special, and he also said guns were bad. So he's got to be right about that too, because he said how wonderful I am.
Yeah, very, very young creates impressionable. And on top of that, they also want to make undocumented aliens would give them the ability to vote. And you know, there was a time in this country where blacks weren't allowed to vote. There was a time in this country where women weren't allowed to vote. If anything, I think that liberals shouldn't have the right to vote. But the young doesn't, they're too impressionable, and all that they receive is mainstream media, which is bought and paid for. They don't get the real story, and they're not looking at things and being able to interpret it for themselves. They're basically they'll read the headline of a story and be able to tell you what happened with that story. It's absolutely amazing to me that they want to drop the voting age down. They think they're responsible enough to drop the voting age down, but they're not responsible enough to buy a firearm. They want to drop the voting age down, but apparently you're still responsible enough to join the military at 18, but you still can't. We don't want you to buy a firearm until you're 21. So it makes absolutely no sense when you look at that side. You look at the Democratic ideas of where age should fall in all these different processes. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, there's no consistency.
Right. So all throughout,
they can't even decide when a baby can be aborted and when it can't. When life is supposedly created. So there's no consistency at all when it comes to age. And so why even come up with this concept that, oh yeah, they're mature enough to be able to vote at 16, other than they know they're going to be struggling for votes.
right. That's exactly right. But, you know, like I was about to say, all throughout history, kids have, depending on how long ago you look at it, but since this country was created, mostly the age of an adult has been the age of 18. So if a kid becomes an adult at 18, adult responsibilities, adult activities such as voting, joining the military, owning firearms should all be at 18. If you're going to change one of those to a different thing, well, then they all need to change to that same age. So if they're going to raise the age that people can buy firearms to 21, well, guess what? Voting and joining the military needs to be raised to that age as well. You can't lower the age because they are not adults at that age, so they should not be able to participate in such adult activities because they have not yet had enough time and experience to actually think for themselves enough to form an opinion to vote for the correct party.
Shit, when I turned 18, I didn't even feel like I had enough life experience to vote. So, and especially now, like, 18, a couple generations ago, you were pretty much doing your own thing at that point in time. Nowadays, how many 18-year-olds are actually out on their own nowadays? It's a very small number in comparison to a few generations ago.
One of the arguments that they'll use as well as to why you can't, say, for instance, raise the drinking and smoking age to 21 or lower it to 18 is because the chemicals in their body haven't finished metastasizing and going through nature, and their brains haven't developed completely, and adding alcohol to that will harshly affect the way they grow up. But here, take a machine gun and go out to Iraq. That's not going to have an effect on an 18-year-old.
It's funny. Pops makes a good point out there. And before I get to that, back home, you can vote at the age of 16. Did I? No, because there's no way in hell I knew anything what I was doing. I wasn't gonna do that. I want to. Sure, I wanted to, but I had no freaking clue. I just got out of high school and was going to college. I was not gonna do something to where I had no idea what I was looking at. You got all that media. It's the same thing back home. The media just spills garbage left, right, and center and fills it with what they want on there. Pops makes a good point on there too. He said he didn't vote till he was 30 because he knew he was stupid. There's a point in time where you got to really sit back and go, am I ready? Do I have the information I need? And that's the problem today. They don't seek out the information.
And that's, not just with voting, but with anything. Like, if you don't have the information at hand to make like an educated decision, you probably shouldn't. Go learn about whatever it is you're doing. And then, once you have the information, you can make an informed decision, go for it. But yeah, if you don't know, it's stupid to just go out there and I'm going to vote for this because I don't know, because I'm supposed to. That's what social media tells me.
Well, and at 18 years old, I voted. I voted for exactly who my parents told me to vote for because I didn't know who the hell I was supposed to vote for. I didn't look into it. I didn't do the research. I never even contemplated reading anything about the different candidates and what they stood for and what their agendas were, what parties they were for. I didn't really understand any of that, but I did vote. I voted for exactly who I was told to vote for by my parents.
And that's another propaganda tool that is used, is get out the vote. Go vote. It's your duty to vote, pushing how important voting is. And what I mean by that voting, I mean just by striking the name in the box. Not like you guys are saying is find out who you're going to vote for first. But you don't see that in the MTV commercials or in the, all the celebrities come out and tell you to go vote. All they say is go pull the lever, go pull the lever.
Yeah, trying to Thoughts of an Old Soldier has a good comment out there. Trying to educate your kids to look into it themselves, make their own decisions. When my kids started getting interested in going to church, for instance, I was like, I'm not going to tell you what to believe. If you're interested in it, I'll be more than happy to take you to this church, that church, this other church over here. Take in what information that you want and believe what you want to believe. And it goes, to me, hand in hand with voting. You can educate as much as possible, and then have them make their own decisions. Don't dictate to them, oh, well, you're going to vote for this person because I told you to.
Right. And to me, that goes along with what I always like to say is think for yourself and question authority. Now, authority can be anybody from the government, teachers, religious figures, your parents, all sorts of things. In order to think for yourself, you have to take the information that you've been given and figure it out and formulate your own opinion based off of the things that you've learned, that your parents have taught you, that you've learned in school, that you've actually seen in life. So, and until then, you're really not ready, in my opinion, to do anything.
Well, and shouldn't, as Americans at least, shouldn't we be owed the fact that our authority will answer to us? You say question authority, they should answer back. And I think as Americans, we're owed that. We put you where you're at, and we want to know why you're doing what you're doing.
Well, I think
that's an excellent point, and half the time we don't ever hear anything, and that's it's important that we again come together and we ask these questions. We keep pushing those questions to get that answer.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times our elected representatives forget the fact that they work for us. They're not, like everybody says, our country's leadership, but they're not our leaders. They're our elected representatives. So they're supposed to be doing what we want, not telling us what to do. And that seems like more and more, there's more of that telling us what we're going to do and how we should do it. And that don't jive with me.
Yeah, this section brought to you by Premium Frost Top Black Cherry Soda. This isn't the standard. This is the premium.
Apparently, we have a YouTube shill on here with us.
And it's also brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
See, at least there was something quality there.
Yeah, and O'Reilly, actually, they're pretty pro 2A. They sell gun oils and gun cleaning mats and stuff in their store. So I think it's pretty good.
And they use black and white camo, which I am a fan of. We have come to that point in the show where I don't know if the Crazy Scotsman is going to be able to participate or not. This is the point where we have a gun check. Tactical Swede.
Little change up today. My VP9 is in the other room, so today it's the SIG P320.
Yes, my P320 ate everything I threw at it today. We go to the one, the only, Phil M. Rivers.
Well, I'm changing it up too because I got a new gun and I want to show it off. It is the Kimber Evo. So, and before you say it, it didn't cost me anything but $5. So, I kind of like that idea myself. So, I want it. So I like it.
That is absolutely pretty. Smooth operating device. Well, we'd like to know, but he did mute himself there. So, Kingpin, what do you got for us?
We're going to go with the Ruger 1911 45 ACP, if I can get it in the screen. There we go.
Oh, that gun is about so big it doesn't fit in the screen.
There we go. That's better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ruger makes a fine 1911. I'd actually like to pick one up in 10 millimeter. The banana breath silverback himself. You got anything near you, sir?
Yeah, I got a few toys near me. I got this Pac 9 right now over here that put this nice Shockwave 2.0 blade on. So this thing's pretty fun. I got a bunch of other things behind me. I don't know if you can see all that.
Yep, absolutely. How do you like that CAC blade?
It's actually really nice. I enjoy the fact that it's adjustable. You can push this lever enough to make it adjust, but it works good for me, man.
Well, I do have my range bag sitting right back here, and also my shotgun case, rifle case. I've got a number of firearms within reach, but the closest one is the Urban Gray CZ P07 that's riding in the belt line right now. The LC9S Pro just wasn't building confidence today at the range, so the P07 went back into the belt line.
Good deal. Well, I don't have anything, but my wonderful host does.
Yep. Well, it's my standard. It's my my Taurus, my G2C. This is usually on me at all times. 9mm of fun and excitement.
Very good, very good.
Who'd you miss?
Yeah, I did actually have the opportunity to hold a CZ Checkmate the other day. And if you haven't had the opportunity to pick one to use up, just go down to your local gun store. They have them everywhere. They're only like $3,200. Just looks like a absolutely phenomenal pistol. You know, just pick one up, throw it in the back of the closet. You'll probably never use it, but you'll be glad that you did. The CZ Checkmate. Has anybody had any experience with the CZ Checkmate as of yet?
Nope.
I would take that as a no. I would take that as a no. It appears to be completely geared to competition shooters. It comes with its own red dot sight. It comes with its own mount. It's based predominantly on the 75B platform, but hopped up quite a bit.
Is that out the custom shop?
It may be. It might possibly be. At 3,200, I kind of figured they'd given this thing a lot of love. Pops Quest says out in the side chat that it's an open gun and limited gun.
Yeah, only one I've been looking at is the CZAO one. Basically an upgraded Shadow. But I haven't been able to find one yet at a decent price. I know down by Daniel they have them, but they want a little bit too much from what I've seen versus what they are asking. So I can't quite do that yet.
Has anybody seen the CZ P10S? I believe it's called subcompact.
No, not yet. I generally don't look at striker fires though. I'm a hammer guy.
That's true. Yeah,
I have yet to see one in a store as well. I'm curious. I got to admit, I am curious. The P365 was kind of on the list. Ultimately, I'm thinking of just retiring the LC9S Pro. So I'm going to end up needing something else in its category. I would love to be able to go out and get something in 10mm, but it's not going to fill the same category that I need. So
yeah, I was thinking either the 365 or I'd like to find and hold the CZ 10S and see what that's like. I think they're going to be comparable in price. Now the 365, I believe, is supposed to be a single stack, or no, that's a double stack too, also, I believe. So
Yeah, that's a double stack. You can get 10 round standard mag, or you can get the 12 round extension.
Yeah, and even with my giant big hands, I did have a 365 in my hand today, and my finger doesn't extend past the muzzle. I'm not Big Johnson. I don't have A pants, but it doesn't extend past the muzzle, and the standard capacity mag being at 10 is kind of hard to beat. I would say that the entire firearm is smaller than the LC9S Pro, so kind of hard to beat for that particular category of firearm.
Looks like Silverback's gonna jump off. You want to say anything before you head out, brother?
Yeah, man. Well, good luck with the rally tomorrow. Should be pretty exciting. Wish I could be there. Again, like I said, just with this new job and everything, I don't have much time to take off to get out there and do certain things I'd really like to do at the moment. But yeah, man, everybody just stay 2A strong, man, and keep fighting for these rights, man. Let's educate as many people out there as we possibly can, so that way they know that it's not this big scary thing. And that's really what it's all about, is the people need to be educated, because they've been told so much false information throughout their entire lives, because the people who are educating them have not been properly educated themselves. So but yeah, man, good luck to y'all. I hope everything goes well and the weather stays dry for you. So, have a good time, man.
Cool, brother. Good to have you on.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for having me. Hey, and see you later to everybody in the side chat and everybody in the panel here. So y'all have fun.
Thanks a lot, Gorillas. Glad to have you there, Silverback.
see you, Gorilla.
See you, man.
Now the competition EA 10 millimeter out there. Thoughts on that, Scotsman?
I've actually looked at that in the past. I found him for under 600. I'm not sure what he's looking at price wise, but I found him for under 6. I have thought about it pretty hard. But there's a couple other guns on the list first that I'd rather buy than that. So they're still on the back burner. But it's actually a very nice pistol from what I can see and what I've watched and read and looked at. So, and it's 10 millimeters, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder and harder for me to deny that 10 millimeter. It just is. Even if I gotta replace a standard carry weapon, it's just getting harder for me to deny. I want to go a 10 millimeter bad.
Yeah, I think I'll go with 1911 first, though. But before I get to a 10 millimeter, in true fashion and tradition, I need to get a 45 in 1911 first, and then I can get a 10 millimeter. Of course, it's just a good excuse to have two 1911s, but gotta go 45 traditional first.
Here, I just passed the 45th year of my life on this earth, and that was actually one of my goals, was to pick up a 45 in my 45th year, and I did fail to do that. I'm not proud, but I am tired. So I don't know. I'm probably just gonna skip the whole thing, go straight to 10 millimeter. Pop's Quest always wants more, so he's waiting for the 11 millimeter.
Well, if it goes to 11,
Well, he wants it in the Glock 111, so that'll probably blow up in your hand.
Depends. You never know.
Well, yeah, the Glock 111 blows up in your hand and the person next to you. They just spontaneously combust. I mean, Glock is always making innovations and it just keeps getting bigger and better. Because you have to improve upon perfection.
Yeah. Whenever I go 10 millimeter, though, I'm going to do the Rock Island double stack. 16 rounds, 16 plus 1 of badass 10 millimeter. And I found that for under 600 too.
So you find something slightly amusing about that, Swede. Like who the hell needs that many rounds of 10 millimeter? Or
that's a lot of a lot of 10 millimeter right there.
All right, man. If you're gonna go big, go big. Don't half-ass it.
I absolutely love the idea. And when I very, very first started looking at 10 millimeters, that was one that definitely caught my eye. And I'm thinking to myself, how heavy is that damn gun? Am I going to be able to support that with belt and suspenders? Or
It's actually not that bad. I will tell you though, if you're looking at 1911s, the guy to check out is I Carry One. I Carry One will let you know every upgrade, every little thing you need to change on 1911 on various different models because he has a bunch of them. And so he knows the issues and fixed the issues already. So he has all the different upgrades and can tell you all that stuff. So I Carry One is an awesome guy to check out, especially if you're looking at like 1911s or high end pistols or anything like that. He's an awesome one to check out. Because I can tell you on that Rock Island double stack, there's a couple of things that he would replace. And I will follow his advice whenever that happens and replace those two. And we got crickets.
well, Black Cat's talking about how, all this talk about 1911s, he may have to carry one tomorrow. And yeah, absolutely. We're only talking 1911s to get you to try and carry one tomorrow.
Carry a really, really nice one tomorrow if you're going to carry one.
Well, it's all about looking good.
Now, Pops is over there making a bunch of noise about the Pantera. I have yet to hear anything about that. Am I just like completely out of the loop? What is the Pantera?
Yeah, everybody's
Nobody has a clue.
I know it's a kick-ass band.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's the band.
If I could carry around Pantera, I might not need to be able to defend myself.
Yeah, but two of them are dead, so.
Isn't the Pantera like a high-end sports car too?
That's a very, very nice high-end sports car. Yes.
Rock Island competition gun. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm really kind of on the fence once again as to what I was going to do. I just barely went to go start accumulating some things for a build, and now I'm looking at replacing a carry weapon. So at this point, I don't know where I'm going to end up going.
All right, gentlemen, I gotta hop off of here. Thank you again for the invite. I appreciate it. And Mr. Scotsman, I will see you tomorrow, sir.
Kingpin, have a good one.
Yeah, take care, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you later, man.
So, Scotsman, are you just out on a tour, meeting fellow creators, or what's happening with your natural?
Well, I was invited by this wonderful gentleman here, my good buddy, good brother.
Bill Goldberg. Yeah, Bill Goldberg.
I was able to get the couple days off. So finally got some vacation time approved. So I was able to get a couple days and come up. And we'll have some fun tomorrow at the rally, and we'll meet a bunch of different YouTubers that are going to be there. I think KB is going to be there too, so it's always good seeing KB. We'll try and get some video here and there, but I will not be blowing up YouTube like a lot of people probably will. I'll just try and get little bits and pieces here and there and just collaborate into one video and toss that up. That'll be it. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of little itty bitty things here and there or do a live stream or anything like that. And then hopefully we can get together with Swede because he's only 45 minutes away or so, roughly. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it out to the rally, but if you guys are back in the area in the evening, definitely hit me up.
But yep, other than that, I'll be heading back down Tuesday morning sometime and back to work Tuesday night.
Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome, man. I wish I could be out there with you guys, pushing the good words, man. Pushing the good words, and glad to see that. Glad to see that some of our brothers in the community are out there fighting the good fight.
Yeah, looks like there's going to be quite a few people out there, so that's good. I know we got at least 4 or 5 in the side chat that are going to be out there, so that's good to see.
Yeah, I think our little corner of the internet, of the interweb, will be well represented.
Yep, absolutely.
We should get Pops out here. You think Pops would eat a Philly cheesesteak?
Talking to Philly cheesesteak, I bet you KB is going to argue tomorrow what's the best kind of Philly cheesesteak.
Well, I can tell you right now, Swede already knows the answer to this. He's probably heard this about 50 million times before. If you know anything about Philly and you know anything about Philly cheesesteaks, you got the 2 big boys, the 2 heavy hitters, Pat's and Geno's. They both suck.
Yes, thank you.
The reason why they're both they're the 2 heavy hitters in the world of Philly cheesesteaks is because at 3 o'clock in the morning, when the bars are emptying out, they're the only thing that's open. They're the only ones open. So
when you're drunk, everything tastes great.
And when you're drunk, everything tastes great. But any one of these guys can make their version of a Philly cheesesteak. You just go buy some Amoroso's rolls and some steak-um and some cheese whiz, and just throw it on to a plate. That's their version of a Philly cheesesteak, without question. The best Philly cheesesteaks that you're going to get anywhere around Philly, in Swede's part of New Jersey, my little suburb of Philadelphia out here, are always going to be the little mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
The little mom and pop shops, the little Italian restaurant, a little pizza shop that's in some strip center. I don't know, come up with any name. Angelo's Pizza.
Just out of curiosity, because I know everybody's got one. What is your favorite cheesesteak joint?
My favorite cheesesteak joint?
Yeah.
So there's a place that nobody else is going to know right down the street from me. and they're called the Philly Cheesesteak and Hoagie Factory. They have 2 locations in my vicinity, and you know the most important part of a cheesesteak is your roll.
Oh yeah.
So they get their rolls delivered every day, and they have rolling deliveries because they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Nice.
So they have rolling deliveries, 2 or 3 a day of rolls from this bakery. You know, just about any chip steak that you get out there is awesome. But if you're gonna throw Tony Luke's out there, Tony Luke's are terrible. You're gonna throw Chicky and Pete's out there, they're terrible.
Yeah.
You
None of
give
the
me
big joints.
any mom and pop. Now,
Yeah.
KB tried to get into an argument with me about a year and a half, 2 years ago, telling me, now, Swede, you'll know what this is, but Alan, you may not know. Phil, you may not know. I know Jason didn't know. We have a convenience store in this area, and they're expanding out. It's called Wawa.
Wawa, baby.
Wawa's like 7-Eleven or Piggly Wiggly or whatever it all you
I
got
know
to
Wawa.
have. So you got a Wawa. When KB was out here in Philly working some years back, he said he had cheesesteaks from Geno's, he had cheesesteaks from Pat's, and the best cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak he ever got was at Wawa.
Yeah.
Now, you go to Wawa to get coffee, cigarettes, maybe a hoagie or something like that, sodas, chips. You don't go there to get a Philly cheesesteak. And he swore up Broad and down Main that was the best Philly cheesesteak he ever ate. And I said, well, guess what? You never had a good Philly cheesesteak yet. And he tried to get all Philly on me because he had a in here. So he thought he was Philly. But he's not, and he's wrong. And I will prove him wrong if he wants me to.
Yeah, I think my favorite place. I mean, there's a couple that have good ones, but I think my favorite place it's up in Bollikenwood. It's this little tiny shop called Mama's Pizzeria, and man, awesome cheesesteaks.
And it's every turn of your steering wheel. You pass a strip center, you're going to see Angelo's, Mama Lucia's. You're going to find some little nothing shop where you're going to get the best cheesesteak you'll ever sink your teeth into. You can have those big chain conglomerates all you want. That's not real.
Now, is Little Abner still down in Philly?
Little Abner's.
Yeah.
Is that a little steak shop?
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was on the south side. Now, this is going back probably 25, 30 years ago when my cousin lived in Philly. We used to go down there and get Little Abner's. He said that was the best place in town to get the Philly cheesesteak.
I don't know. Sweet. Have you heard of Little Abner's?
No, that's a new one for me. I don't know that one.
Because you know what? As awesome as these little shops are, they pop up everywhere. They go out of business almost as quickly as they open, and they change the menu around. You get a new owner, and you get the same cheesesteaks though. They're everywhere. I don't think I ever heard of Little Abner's specifically, but when you go into the city of Philadelphia, in Center City, and you're looking for something to eat, you're going to one of those 4-star restaurants and what have you. There's Jay, you come back here at some point, I'll take you to some restaurants. You thought you've eaten to this point in your life, but you have not yet eaten until you've eaten in some of these places. Especially this one little Brazilian steakhouse, Swede Brazilian Steakhouse in Center City. What's the name of it?
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about.
It'll put you in a meat coma.
Yeah.
In an hour. I like to get Alan out here. Alan looks like he could eat some meat too. That guy looks like he's
Careful, you're talking to Janice Gay talking about eating meat.
Yeah, Jan definitely likes some tube steak.
Wow. Thank God Logan's not here. That's some funny stuff. And Swedes, he should probably try and hook up with us after the rally.
Yeah, we'll try and get together for sure.
All right. I'd like to get Pops out here too. Pops talks about bringing all this stuff to the farm, and bring meats, we'll throw it on the grill. Now you come here, we can get some cheesesteaks. Can't bring cheesesteaks to the Carolinas though. Can't do that. It won't last. I'll eat them.
Yeah, I would be really curious as to what Big Meat Sunday would turn out as a true Philadelphia cheesesteak. I mean, do you pick it up and grease runs down your arm or not? I don't know.
I'll tell you, that man can cook, dude. I would trust him to make me a good Philly cheesesteak. I would. And I can tell you, this guy right here, he might not believe it right now, but you have anything that SoCal makes, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Oh, SoCal, yeah.
That guy can fucking cook.
He's the cook.
He is the cook. You can't go wrong.
That's what I heard. He had a channel.
Oh, yeah. He's the man.
All right, I'll eat it. He cooks it. I'll eat it.
He made proper tacos last year.
See, Pop says he can make Philly cheesesteaks on the farm.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't think.
I trust him. I trust him. Dude. When it comes to SoCal.
Look, I was stationed at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas, at one stage of my military life, and a couple of buddies of mine, we went into downtown San Antonio, and we come across this little shop right off of the side of the road. It was a standalone little shack, and it said in the window on a piece of cardboard, written in Sharpie, "We make authentic Philly cheesesteaks." So me and my buddies walk in there, and there's just 3 Mexican guys standing behind the counter, and I said, "You guys make Philly cheesesteaks?" "Yeah." I said, "All right, I'll take one." And they took a steak-'em that they got from the food store, big box of them, threw a steak-'em up on their grill. They didn't chop it up. They didn't season it. They just threw the steak-'em on there. They had a cup with Cheese Whiz in it that they stuck in the microwave to heat it up. And they asked me, "You want fried onions?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have fried onions." They had chopped up onions. They put that in another cup in the microwave. And then they put it and served it to me on an Amoroso's roll. And they said, "Here you go." I said, "Now I paid for that, and I'm going to eat it because I'm not gonna insult you by throwing this food in your face. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm from Philly. That's not a Philly cheesesteak. You lost me at the steak-'em. You lost me at the steak-'em, El Jefe. I'm going to tell you that right now."
Yeah, it was like when people say that Charlie's Steaks makes great cheesesteaks. No.
You can make them you can make them house cheesesteaks. You feel like having something with the kids, throw it on the stove at night and go and get all the steak-'em and Amoroso's rolls you want. I need the chip steak chopped up nice and fine. I need a nice fresh baked from an Italian bakery special order roll. I need my provolone cheese melted on there. Maybe throw some mushrooms, some fried onions.
Yeah.
That's my ideal. I'll put my own ketchup on it.
Makes sense to me.
And that's what I was gonna shove one of them down into your gullet tonight. But the pork was calling my name. Like I said, you can't be a Jewish guy in the outskirts of Philadelphia without making a pork roast. I'm making somebody hungry.
Pop says you're a picky bastard. I guarantee you, though, seriously, SoCal can make one. And he'd make you proud, too.
Would he make me proud?
He'd make you proud.
I don't know. He's from
He'd
California.
make you proud. Last year, he made tacos, and he said he was going to make them proper way. That man can make tacos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. That same little mom and pop shop down there in San Antonio made a burrito that I still think about. They couldn't do any good on that Philly cheesesteak, but that burrito, boy.
See, I'm married to a Mexican, so Mexican food, tacos and stuff like that. That's hard to beat. Mama's cooking.
Yeah, you try SoCal's cooking. It's right up there.
How did he run out and buy a
Now,
bunch
Swinger, you mentioned the bread is so pinnacle to a good cheesesteak, and I'm seeing more nodding across the board as well. Maybe I just don't know. I've had some pretty good cheesesteaks when I was living in a truck out on the road, and usually they were either from like little tiny mom and pop shops or even the roach coaches. There was one roach coach that was in San Francisco. I'd see that thing show up, and I didn't care where my truck was parked. I'd jump out of that truck and get myself a cheesesteak off this truck. And it was worth stopping traffic for. But the bread is really that pinnacle to it.
Well, before we get there, I know Phil's got to leave. So Phil, you wanna put your 2 cents in and then let us know what you got before you head out?
Yep. Well, definitely, you guys making me hungry. So Philly cheesesteak from Philly is definitely the way to go. Thanks for having me. Hopefully, I'll get some shooting
Do
done.
you agree that the bread is pinnacle?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the fresh bun or fresh hoagie roll or whatever, it's got to be the way to go. If you don't have good bread, the rest of the sandwich is going to be crap. So, but thanks for having me, and I'll try and get some more content out the next week or two here. Been busy, so sorry I can't make it tomorrow. Can't get the time off. But you guys have fun. Be careful. Till we meet again.
Take care, brother.
Later, Phil. Take good.
All right. So Swede, the bun.
Oh yeah, dude, the bread. It all starts with the bread. Like you mess up the bread, you might as well just throw everything else out.
Right. You mess up the bread, then you're eating like what is that, keto, where you're taking the meat out. You're just eating the bread. You're just eating the meat. The bread don't count. You're on a keto diet plan or something.
So Swede, what's your favorite kind of bread to have for a Philly cheesesteak?
I mean, it's that it's that fresh baked like Italian roll. Like you can a lot of places they'll try to do like cheesesteaks and like I said, I mentioned Charlie's. These like kind of fast food chains or the bigger places where they'll they just have this bread sitting around. They'll throw it in a toaster. Grill up some steak and throw it in there. Put some cheese on it. Call it a cheesesteak, but. No, it's got to be that fresh. I mean, if it's not fresh, that's a deal killer already. If you got bread sitting around for a few days and it's just you're pulling it out and throwing meat on it, nah.
You got to have. So this is why the roll is pinnacle. It's a no-brainer, and it's not. It's a no argument. The bread has to be crispy and somewhat hard on the outside.
Soft on the inside.
Slice into it.
Yeah.
And fold it open. It has to be soft and cushiony to accept all of that perfectly browned chip steak goodness. And it has to act almost like a cloud of cushion for that steak to sit inside that roll. When you cut into a roll and you bend it in half to put something in it and the roll breaks in the back.
No good.
It's no good. It's no good.
Yeah. So, I mean, so you wouldn't want to be like eating anything like French, right?
No baguette.
No. Yeah.
No French.
Go to France. And get
You're not French, right? I don't eat French either.
But no, like you say, man, like the outside, the crust, you when you bite into it, you want a little bit of crispiness there, but the inside, man, it's got to be soft and cushiony like that, like a cloud, Yeah, absolutely. That's perfect description.
Why am I trying to think of Janice Gay jokes right now?
And the other thing that a lot of people don't think of, some of the fakes out there and some of the perpetrators of their lies like to get you those thin rolls. Are about this big around, right? That's a torpedo roll, and they come to a almost like a point at both sides. No, that's wrong. It's got to be thick enough that you can hold it with two hands. So it can't be this big, right, Jan? It's got to be this big, and it's got to be rounded at the ends. No coming to the points. It's got to be rounded at the end. So you're looking at a roll that's like this. You can fill in this gap with more fingers, but this is the roll right here.
I'm trying so hard not to do a Janice J.
Awesome.
Yeah, Pops is asking size matters.
Always. And if they tell you different, they're lying to you. Somebody's asking, have you ever had brats and beer?
So the thumbs down is probably gonna be Pops, I have to say.
Well,
that is how we know that Pops has watched the chat. It's a positive thing for Pops to give us a thumbs down. That's how we know that Pops has watched the chat.
That's right. It's not a good chat unless we hit that thumbs down.
I'll tell you what, I look forward to the next episode of Foreign and Domestic. It's almost like, where in the world is the crazy Scotsman? Where is he going to be next?
Yeah, if we don't get that thumbs down from Pops, it ain't a good show. Gotta have that thumbs down. If we get more than one, though, then we gotta start questioning that. But it's getting that kind of time. We started a little late, but we're getting up to that 2-hour mark. So we kind of ran out of guests. They kind of jumped off. You know, it's busy weekend for people, but Swede, what you got, brother?
Like I said, man, fingers crossed, hoping, praying that a good word comes back on this house, and we'll start getting into moving mode soon. So prayers, thoughts, whatever you guys got, send them my way. Would be much appreciated. Definitely appreciate the link as always, and man, love hanging out with you guys. And hopefully, if you guys are back in the area tomorrow evening, afternoon, give me a shout and we'll hook up and hang out.
Yeah, man, for sure, definitely. Be good to shake your hand finally.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, what you got?
I got nothing. I got one of my best buddies right here. I'm happy as a clown. I couldn't be more proud to have another patriot, a true American patriot. Sharing a camera, sharing a meal in a few minutes. I love having him. I'm looking forward to going to this 2A rally tomorrow with him and meeting up with some of the other people that are here. Every time I get another opportunity to meet some of the people on YouTube that have embraced me and my daughter in person, it's a very humbling experience, and I look forward to meeting everybody face to face at some point.
Awesome. Alan, what you got, brother?
Well, I'm not sure how much I'm going to end up having come out, if I have anything actually come out this week. Still out on a house hunt myself. Not doing anything like the Swede, but we'll definitely keep the Swede and his efforts and everything in the prayers. I hope everything goes golden for you there, sir. Other than that, I do have a couple ideas. If I can get out to a free shooting range where I can do some things that might be a little risky. I do have a couple ideas of things that I want to run by. But as always, it had an absolutely great time here this evening. Want to thank everybody that was on the panel that has already left, and thank the gents that are here on the panel as well. Had an absolutely awesome side chat going on. Thank you very, very much for everybody showing up. And as always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. And all I got, guys, is I'm going to hang out with this guy some more. Good to be here. I appreciate him taking me in and letting me hang out with him, stay here with him tonight and tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to the rally tomorrow. If I remember right, the GOA is going to be there tomorrow, so it should be a good one. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, it's pretty much all I got. It's going to be a long ride home Tuesday and then working Tuesday night, but we'll get through it. And I'll get some more content out this week. Hopefully I'll get a video on Big Blue for you guys. Meant to do that last week, didn't get there. Hopefully I'll get it this week for you though. But that's all I got. So guys, I appreciate everyone in the side chat. Appreciate everyone that showed up here in the chat with us as well as already left. You guys, take care, and we'll see you next weekend.